Welcome to another edition of Lone Star Brahmas Inside the Bullpen. Brought to you by Acme Bread. If you don't see the Acme name, you're not getting Acme quality. And now, here are your hosts, Nick Merritt, Chad Seaward, and Walt Ruff.
Three amigos, we're back for potentially the final time.
Hola.
On Inside the Bullpen. More on that later, but as we start and dive right into things, we got to hit on a little bit of a sad note to start things off. Chad, you want to take it away?
Yes, it is a sad note to start out with. Over the weekend, we learned of the tragic passing of former Brahma great Justin Kinnunen. He was struck by a vehicle in Florida, and he did not survive, and it took everybody by it was really a shock. I mean, that's not something you expect.
Yeah.
It's not something you ever want to deal with.
He's very young still, too, correct?
He's 35,
yeah.
And he had a great career in pro hockey, and then he retired pretty early to pursue a career as a pilot, and I believe that's what he was doing, which is why he was in Florida. But looking back at the career of Kinnunen, he actually had a tie into the North American Hockey League. He played for the Sioux Indians in 99-2000 season. And then he went on to Northern Michigan University. He was a forward, I do believe, all the way up until his time with the Brahmas, where Walt Ruff converted him to a defenseman, which was a very smart move. He had a pretty lengthy career. He played in the ECHL, the UHL, with us when we were in the CHL from 2007 to 2010. And during that time, he had a couple stints with a team you guys have seen play, the Rampage, down in San Antonio.
Yeah.
Always considered the fastest Brahma. His nickname was Juice. I believe it refers to him saying he's on the juice or some such like that. And people have asked me, because we threw it out there that he was the fastest Brahma, and I had a couple people question me, like, really faster than Berardinelli? And yes, absolutely faster than Berardinelli. He was incredible. When he got on the ice, he automatically made the team better, no matter who was out there. He's one of those guys, he embodied what it is to be a Brahma. He never complained. He was great in the locker room, great on the bench, stuck up for his teammates. He was awesome on the power play, great on the penalty kill. Just one of those guys that you wish you had 19 more of to fill out your roster.
Yeah. And
he was a very integral part of our championship run in 2009. I don't know if you'd say couldn't have done it without him, but he was absolutely part of what took us over the top. And so at 35, he goes on to the next plane, and it's an effing bummer. Nothing good you can say about that.
No, obviously we saw a lot of Brahma fans too face their reactions on social media, and it's clear to see just how loved he was by this whole Brahma family. And obviously it's sad. Walt and I, for those who obviously may not know, but I think it's obvious, we didn't know him, which is heck, we were both in high school on the East Coast in 2010 when he left the Brahmas. So that'll date you there. But I mean, obviously, one comparison, you said he was so fast, that's why they called him Juice, too. I think Frank that just popped in our office the day before, and he's like, who said something about Berardinelli? And he's, oh, yeah, he was way faster than Berardinelli.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the guy could he'd start behind the net, get the puck behind the net, take off. He'd have the forward speed. He'd split the D, take a shot. Maybe we lose control of the puck, and it comes back the opposite way, and he's already back in the zone before the guy. He's Speedy Gonzalez. I mean, it was almost a joke how fast he was. His stint in the AHL that year, or those 2 years he went up to the A, the Rampage were pretty bad, but so was their NHL team, the Phoenix. That was probably when you were in college in Arizona. They were not good. and he probably would have gotten a call up to the NHL had he been a little bit thicker. He was a pretty thin guy.
Yeah, makes sense.
But he's a hockey player's hockey player. I mean, he's a defenseman who is 6 foot, 165 pounds. He played through many injuries. He played with a broken rib, which as a defenseman, when you're getting thrown into the boards in the corners and you're taking slap shots, 90-mile-an-hour slap shots to the chest, that's a pretty tough thing to do. So, yeah, Juice was he was the best. I guarantee you won't find anybody to say a negative word about him, even people that played against him. So,
well, that's what you want when you're
for sure.
This game.
It's definitely what you want, and we had that bad news, and then it kind of parlayed into more bad news for Brahma Land.
At least less severe. We'll put it that way.
Definitely less severe. But we're losing another Brahma. You know anything about that, Walt?
Yeah, this is a little something. Unfortunately, this will, in fact, be my last podcast I shared yesterday on social media, my personal pages. But I will officially be leaving the Brahmas organization next week. I'll be taking over as the Director of Communications for the Norfolk Admirals, ECHL affiliate of the Edmonton Oilers. And was an opportunity that I really kind of just threw my hat in the ring and didn't expect very much to come of it. And one thing led to another, and the ball got rolling. And before you know it, my time in Texas will be coming to a close next week. And, I can't thank the Brahmas organization enough for a phenomenal year. I came down here and anticipated being an unpaid intern for the entire year. Didn't exactly know what capacity I'd be working in, and then found out along the way that Nick is just too nice to say no to any idea that I potentially had. Obviously I can't thank him enough for allowing me on the broadcast, and the suit somehow became a hit, and people got to know me down here because of them. And being on social media, I really hope that everyone had half as much fun as I did over the course of this past year. It was an awesome time getting to interact with everyone and, just responding to comments and making everyone feel like they truly are a part of this Brahmas family that we encourage around here. And, that's one of my key focal points of social media. When someone has something to say, you like to give them a little bit of feedback or a response to make them feel like they're not just talking to a wall. You want to be interactive with them, and that's certainly an asset that I'll be taking to the Admirals. And again, I'm very excited to get started up there with them. It was an opportunity that I couldn't pass up, but I can't thank Frank and Sal Trezera, the entire Brahmas organization, and NITEC Sports for taking a chance on a kid who blind emailed and said he wanted to move halfway across the country from Pennsylvania to be an intern, and I think it worked out.
Yeah, I think it worked out. I mean, it's crazy. Going back to when we hired Nick, I guess is really when the ball got rolling. Nick took us to another level with all the post-game video highlights and just professional broadcasting and more of a presence on the web. And Nick killed it the first year. And when we talked about it this time last year, it was like, okay, just don't add anything new, just maintain.
Right.
And then you and Walt add 600 new things, and they're all great, all home runs, and you took it to a whole nother level. I mean, I hope that we can maintain this level that
I was just about to say.
So hard.
Hey, Nick, why don't you maintain the extras? Oh boy,
keep it going, Nick. All you.
Hey, it's okay. I'll lean on you a little bit too, though. No, it's true. I mean, heck, when Walt came in here, we got so many different things, and a lot of the ideas that came into fruition were just because Walt was like, "Hey, this might be a dumb idea, but what do we think about this?" And Chad and I were like, "Frickin' A rights, let's run with it." Like,
okay. I mean, think about your first week here, Walt. Would we throw you into online store?
Yeah.
and that was a pain.
Oh man, with Shopify.
Shopify, that was a tedious thing. We were adding the NA3 players to the online store for their jerseys. I think a week later, we had you in the Mongo outfit, and I was Brick Boy down in the stockyards. You were willing to do that. And it was about, 117 that day?
It was a warm one. It was a very,
not
very
fun.
warm one.
So, willingness to do anything. You did a great job this year with everything, especially community appearances. Nick, there's no way that you can get to all of it in a
Right.
There's no way. But Walt got guys out. You guys did a lot of good stuff at schools and hospitals, youth centers, community centers. That's the kind of stuff that we really need because we don't spend a lot on advertising,
Right.
as we know. So
Right.
it's good to get out there in the community as much as we can. So, man, Walt, I'll tell you that we had a president, the shortest term president the Brahmas ever had. He was here like 2.5 months. And if you're a Brahma fan, you follow the team for years, you can probably figure out who that is, so I don't throw his name under the bus. But he did not do much beneficial for the organization. But he did say something to me one day when I was pissed off about the ball getting dropped on about a dozen different things. And he looked at me and he says, we're a developmental team for the staff too. And I was like, and it hit home because I'm like, okay, you're right. I expect everybody to be just firing on all cylinders and just absolutely the best of the best. And we're developmental, so I'm happy to see you go off and go up. That's a big jump to the ECHL. It's going to be great for your career. And
One up Jeff Potter, right?
yeah, you leapfrog Jeff Potter.
We'll rub that in. No.
My advice to you, Walt, is do everything you did here, continue to be yourself, and maybe before you leave, reach out to Tommy Daniels over at Allen and see what all the ECHL is all about. But
Yeah.
I think you got it. I think we can expect some good things from you next year.
Yeah, I can't wait. Actually, I had the privilege of seeing Tommy last week up at the Five Nations tournament in Frisco.
Oh, good.
I'm very thankful to be a part of, and I talked to him for a little bit and let him know that I'd be joining the league. He said he met some of the Admirals staff, but is not familiar with their current broadcaster. But I said that obviously thank Tommy because he over the course of this season gave us a media pass to all things Americans, and getting to see what he does obviously played a factor in what we do here at the Brahmas and what we try and mimic because he's ECHL Broadcaster of the Year for a reason. And, going to try and obviously learn a little bit from everyone and move forth. And it's funny, actually, Jeff Potter just texted me this morning, and him and I went back and forth for a little bit. But, I can't thank everyone enough from the coaches and players. Very, very rarely was I told no for an idea, for an interview or a video or social media piece, anything like that. We didn't hear no very much, and that obviously played a large role as to what we were able to get done here, and a large reason as to the sample of work I was able to send to Norfolk, and obviously they found appealing, and it felt great to hear, but of course it wouldn't have been a large part of the process without everyone from the line down, from Dan and Jeff doing the intermission interviews and the players doing the post game and everything. I mean, even Al with the NA3 team was great, and I know that would have been awesome for the NA team this year, but as of right now, it seems like he might be off the hook for a couple intermission interviews. But, seriously, thank you to everyone. And again, especially the fans on social media, don't think for a second that your comments and your likes and everything go unnoticed. It's no secret that Nick and I were tracking the numbers over the course of the year, and how far we had come from when I got down here in August. We were reaching about 50,000 people per month, and we're closing in on reaching about 200,000 per month now, which is just scary when you can
Scoreboard.
Yeah, exactly. When you can multiply your production to that level, it just goes to show that you were able to do something right, and it wouldn't have been possible without all of the fans making their voices felt on social media. And I'm sure that Nick will continue that moving forth, and it's great to know that what we put out, it's like we're not talking to a brick wall either. Fans are understanding our content, and we've been very thankful to have them on board. And again, I hope they enjoyed being a part of this journey as much as I have.
Well, and you too, I mean, not to just constantly pat everybody's back, but I mean, you heard it from Dan, like what the coaches are saying and different staff people are saying, and the league is telling teams, if you want to know what to do on social media and the web, just follow the Brahmas and copy what they do. So what do they say? Imitation is the best form of flattery. So that's all you guys, man.
Yeah, that felt great to hear. I mean, when Dan passed forward word to that yesterday, and obviously I spoken with League Director of Communications, Alex Curious, and informed him of my new position. But he said, hey, you guys have come a long way. Nick and I always joke and laugh. Back when I first got down here in August and September, I think we took a couple of fines that
yeah, you did.
Frank got a couple of potential invoices to his email about things that, perhaps crossed that fine line on social media. I know we took a little stab at the Springfield Junior Blues before the showcase last year and other tedious things, such as making sure we were not putting content out online that featured non-league suppliers. Obviously everything's going to have to be Bauer this year, so we were putting out a couple CCM things, and we were just kind of scratching our head like, yeah, we probably shouldn't have done that. But, to go from being fined on a pretty regular basis when we first got here to being referred to at the league meetings as the gold standard, that obviously feels pretty good to hear.
Yeah, I had a few lengthy conversations with the league after some of y'all's doings.
It was largely me. I mean, Nick was obviously in, and you guys gave the green light on some of them, but don't think it was.
No, on the Blues Clues thing, on that thing, my response to the league was, I thought that was pretty damn clever, if you ask me, and pretty funny. It's all lighthearted. Come on, if we can't laugh when we work,
right?
What are we doing?
Right.
But well, that's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. So, Nick, going back to, was it the home opener with the money suit?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
When your partner in crime shows up in the booth wearing the most ridiculous suit of all time with $100 bills all over it, what are you thinking?
I don't even know. I don't remember. I wish I could put myself back in that day.
Because I thought it was the greatest thing ever. You had music going in the sales office. DJ Dollar Bill was born.
Yeah.
And it was great.
I
that
definitely
became a
loved
game
it.
night tradition. We really had that sales office cranking with some pregame tunes of our own.
What was it again? It was what was our Friday?
Hip Hop Fridays.
Hip Hop Fridays. There it is.
Man,
Yeah,
there
I
it
hope
is.
Norfolk's ready for that.
I was gonna say.
They better.
They're getting a director of communications and part-time DJ.
Yeah. You might slowly ease into that. Like, we're a little bit more
Yeah.
open and accepting here. You might just slide into that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you should show up on your first day with your closet full of suits and just walk in there and go, okay, are these okay to wear? This one with cards on it, this one with a leopard print.
Yeah, those are some good times, man. I mean, obviously, working for an organization that let me do those things, that over the course of the year, I think I worked in 10 different suits, all for a variety of different reasons. But now my challenge is to try and utilize them moving forth, and hopefully Norfolk's got some cool promotions lined up, and
Pull them back out.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see them on social media, and I'll have a pretty decent hand in their social media game as well. So, hopefully we can carry over some Brahma fans to see what we're doing up there.
Oh, man. Well, so our team has stayed. I mean, Nick, since you've been here, we've had very little turnover. You'll see up in the East Coast League, there's a lot of turnover with sports teams in general. You probably saw that when you were working in baseball before here, but a lot of turnover. I mean, interns, sales, operations, coaches, staff.
Right.
There's constantly turnover. We've had a pretty even roster for the past few years. I mean, Potter leaving, and then now you. So now all that even roster's kind of been jumbled up, and we're going to have to figure it out.
Yeah. It's going to be, for sure, the craziest jumps from this past year to the coming year, which is how many people have been, have left the Brahmas since when? The start of the calendar year?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts.
It is definitely, it's bigger than we thought.
Yeah. Yeah, so Norfolk, Virginia will have to get a taste of Walt Ruff here in the next couple weeks. Good stuff. At least you'll be you did like your time down at Corpus Christi, so you'll be close to another beach.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I mean,
and back east, you're closer to home.
Yeah, for sure. It'll be about 5 hours from my native Pennsylvania, and I've got some family in North Carolina as well. And, make no mistake, this was not a move made for family purposes. It was simply whatever would be best for my career. I loved being down here in Texas, and I made some, I met some people, I should say, who have become family to me now and always will be for the rest of my life. And so I'm very, very excited. I love the beach. Loved our Corpus trips, and now Virginia Beach, Virginia will be my new home.
You two guys have made the most of your time in Texas. I mean, You've been to Cowboy Stadium, right?
Yep.
Got that off the bucket list.
Yeah,
Yep.
we did.
You've been to all the tourist spots in both cities, Dallas and Fort Worth. You've
Yep.
been to every sports team game that we've got, pretty much.
Yeah, I didn't get to a Mavericks game, and I'm kind of bummed about that. I like Mark Cuban, but, what can you do? I have a feeling I'll be back here at some point.
I guess we didn't go to all of them, though. Like you missed, we both missed the Mavs. I've been to the Arlington Raceway once.
Well, yeah, I didn't
You
delve
haven't made
into
that one
that
if you want to count
NASCAR
that
stuff.
one. Or even like the horse racing one, but then you had Texas Motor Speedway. Neither one of us made that.
You guys missed the Colonial this year.
Yeah.
With
I still have not been to the
vacations.
Colonial.
That's your. You got to live with yourself for that.
I know. Man, it sucks. It's always over Memorial Day.
Yeah, but that's cool. I mean, when you're young, like we were talking with Frank yesterday, when you were giving him the news. What do you say? When you're young and you don't have a wife or kids, soak it up, man. Explore the world, and
That's me for now. No wife, no kids yet.
yeah,
living life on a day-to-day basis.
As far as you know.
Yeah,
maybe
as
you're
far as I
married-
know.
Maybe you're married somewhere else.
you're one of the few that came down from up north that escaped Texas without a wife. So,
Well, hey, I've got until next Friday yet, so
yeah.
don't hold your breath.
Ladies, Walt at nitechsports.com.
That's right.
Send a picture.
Well, you better be careful, though.
Well, so
Seriously.
that's some sad news. Walt's leaving us.
Yeah, but then Rick's going to have all your emails forwarded to
Oh,
you when you
yeah,
leave.
that's right.
Oh, yeah. But, we've got good news. We got a preseason schedule.
Yeah, how about that,
We
huh?
do have a
do.
preseason
Finally.
schedule.
We do. Yeah, I'm
Um,
pretty much I think I'm gonna go with Walt to help drop him off in Virginia, and then literally fly back, and it's like, all right,
Yeah.
preseason time.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
sure to have you back by then.
So, have we announced this anywhere, or is this breaking news?
No, we just announced it last night.
Okay. So, we've got, I follow the team. We got September 3rd in Wichita Falls,
Yep.
Yep.
and then September 6th here against Wichita Falls.
We hope.
Shout out Alex Von Coydle.
Oh, you know what? Shout out to AVK. The ice will be probably 24 to 48 hours old at that game. Looking
That'll
at our
be
timeline,
crazy.
it's weird to see the rink right now. Ice is completely gone.
I know.
Every speck of it's been taken out.
It's bizarre.
Glenn and his crew did an amazing job doing that. And we ordered all the under ice logos. It's going to look really sharp if all goes according to plan. But
Yep.
September 6th will be nice, and then September 9th against Corpus. And that will conclude our preseason.
Yep. 2 home games too, which is nice.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
good.
I think it's the first time in the NA we've had 2 preseason home games.
It may be.
Nope, last year. Nick, you just missed the first one. We had September 5th and then
yeah.
September 15th.
Once
Hey,
again,
right.
I follow the team.
Me too, clearly.
I got you guys. Don't worry.
So an important note we should say about the fans about the 6th. We're not doing tickets for that game. Season tickets will be able to be picked up that week, starting that day.
Woo woo.
And it's going to be an open house. So we're
Free
still going to
day.
have, the DJ, and we'll have the PA announcer. We've got some crazy names on the roster this year. More on that in the coming
True, we're still on
coming
31 guys. That's got to be trimmed during preseason, so you might see some fights too. Actually, scratch that. You almost 100% will see some fights
days. I
in
mean,
preseason.
I cannot imagine. Some of the names, as I look at that board, that hopefully, gosh almighty, man, some of those names are going to be a tongue twister for you to call, Nick. And
Yeah,
Mike
Walt's not in the
Norgard.
mix anymore, and he doesn't
Yeah.
have to know these names.
Man,
I'm excited, though. I'll still be checking up for sure. I mean, I know Dan and Al are going to be putting a good product on the ice this year. And, how could you not be excited when on a previous podcast Dan said, we're going to be tough to play against this year. So that's my preferred style. I love that smash mouth.
there's a few names that you already know how to pronounce: Gretzky, Chelios.
Yep. Excited to have those guys back.
Those
Lemieux.
and Messier. Those names you've
Vidmar.
got. Yeah, but some of the other ones, boy, good luck on that. The player from Kenya, I don't even know how to. That's a lot of O's and G's in that name. So we'll see how that goes.
Here's a funny one already, too. Our draft pick goalie, Alec Calvaruso, had I don't know if Walt stumbled onto this tweet, saw this tweet, tweeted at Corbin Kaspersky because those two are good buddies, and they're both Michigan goaltenders as well, so they know each other from growing up. Literally messaged him on Twitter and said, "Hey, buddy, do you have a spare helmet? I ran mine over." I really got to ask him about that. Like, did he literally drive a car over it, or?
Yeah, that'll be a good story, and can't wait to. I did see that on social media. And I was like, "What the heck?" Like, it's one of those. Like, are you serious?
Yeah, I gave him a like from the Brahmas account.
There you go.
Boy, that's a
just to make sure we know we saw it.
Goalies for you.
For sure.
Now, you guys don't miss much, which is great.
Hey, beauty of social media, you stay connected.
You do stay connected. Yeah, so there's our preseason. So, again, no tickets on the 6th. It's going to be an open house. It's just
nice.
Come in. If somebody has a ticket for that seat, then obviously you want to give them that seat. But we're going to open up the doors. It's a good chance for you to look around and see, like, maybe a different section. Maybe pop in a suite, look at a suite, maybe look out at the party deck, maybe just, roam around. We don't the day after Labor Day, we don't expect a crazy sellout or anything like that. But, you can't sell it out if you're not selling tickets. So there's that fact.
That's valid. But it's also, I remember the first preseason I came to, it was stinking packed when it was free.
Yeah, that was a good game when you and Amanda came down.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good one. I think people have been jonesing for hockey. It's been 5 months since.
It's been way too long of an off season.
Yeah,
crazy.
It is crazy, and so here we go.
I know. Now we're literally days away. Players come in on Sunday. Season starts 3rd. Again, preseason in Wichita Falls. I think that's a 7:00 p.m. game. We don't know the ticket prices yet, so you have to keep your eyes peeled to Wichita Falls. Information on that. The 6th, we're playing Wichita Falls at home. Chad just said they're free. We love free.
Free.
Everybody loves free.
Free 99.
So free, and come on, check out the Brahmas hockey first of the season. And then the 9th, it's what, $5?
$5 Friday.
For anywhere, even glass?
$5 Friday frenzy. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's just pack the place and have a good time, and then we'll have a month before the real ticket prices creep in. And that's that. Speaking of, we had teased a lot in this podcast over the summer. Hard to believe the summer's almost over.
I know.
First of all.
I know.
That's some craziness.
Yeah, when's the first day of fall? Like the 22nd?
It was like 2 days ago when it got cloudy and cool.
Yeah, how about that? Showed up to work yesterday in my Brahmas winter jacket.
Awesome. No, we had teased rink improvements. You guys did a good job of showing some progress on social media. Section P is now the Summer Energy Party Deck.
Nice.
Section Q and QQ, we were going to build an ice level suite. That's just not going to happen this year. We're running out of time.
Ice is more important.
It's just all hands on deck on the renovations that they're doing back there. We've got the smallest staff we've ever had, and we're doing more than we've ever done. So
we're all rocking and rolling.
They can only get to what they can get to, and Q and QQ are just not going to happen this year. It'll be kind of a standing room only area.
That's okay. Hey, our photog will love it.
A photographer will love it, and if we decide to do 2 cameras in the broadcast, that's an absolute perfect spot for a second one.
True.
And then Section M, we're going to do something on the first 2 rows of that.
That's right. It was knocked out.
There's still a couple of ideas floating around. Some not feasible, some feasible. We'll see. That'll be a game time decision, probably September 2nd. Go in. But that's that. That's the news. 2 bad news pieces and 1 good news piece. I guess next podcast, Nick, we'll have to have the good outweigh the bad.
All right, seriously. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's 2 bads to start it, but also you can look at it as a bad and a positive. So, it's always good. I'm glad we had the chance to meet Walt, became one of my good buddies down here, and looking forward to seeing what he does in Norfolk, and just hope I'll keep my sanity having to take over all your work and stuff, and we'll find some interns. So I hope our future interns, too, are going to be ready to rock and roll, because I will be unloading some stuff on them. I will tell you that.
Right. Yeah, we're going to.
But yeah, it was a great year. I'm definitely going to miss going solo, and game nights I know are going to be back to being brutal. because it was you and I both had that experience.
Yeah.
We both had to do play-by-play and Twitter or Facebook and all that, and it's kind of tough when you have these awkward 30-second pauses. People are like, "Is he gone? Did my audio quit?" And they're probably like hitting their computer, and it's us just trying to schedule a tweet for the fans to let them know what's going on too if they couldn't watch or pay for the game. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have changes all around. I'm sure we'll keep posted. Maybe we'll throw in a really random Walt Ruff segment every month, and we can catch up with him in Norfolk just for kicks. But hey, we said we wanted to grill him on his craziest or favorite moment of the year.
Oh yeah,
what really stood out,
that.
and I want to know. We'll start with what stood out. Or like what was one moment that stood out to you in your 1 year, and then also what's one thing that you learned that you could take with you to Norfolk?
Okay. One moment that stood out in terms of like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. I mean, obviously getting aboard the preseason broadcast with you, Nick, was great. I mean, it was the first time being a part of a dual broadcast. So that was a lot of fun, but I mean, how could we ignore the line brawl against Odessa that made it onto TSN's Facebook page? And Nick and I were getting ripped apart by people from over Canada just trashing Nick. And I'm like, oh man, I can't deal with this. So I went back at like a few of them, not in like an argumentative tone, but I guess, I mean, as I get into the professional area, I'll just have to learn to bite my tongue and, you know, people are always going to have their opinion, but as someone who tries to keep social media as positive a place as possible, that kind of stank. But, I mean, I guess I'll just have to know to be better next time and to bite my tongue and just let people say what they will, because people will always have opinions no matter how hard you try to keep social media a safe space. And one thing I will be taking with the Norfolk that I really found this year, and again, when I came down here, I didn't really know the exact stint. You know, Nick was just kind of like, yeah, we'll see what you're good at, what you're capable of. And, you know, Chad, you always like to say that people within our organization wear multiple hats and you have to fill in at times and you have to do things. And, I mean, if you would have told me that when I first got down here, yeah, some nights you're going to have to be in the box office printing tickets last minute or something, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to do box office stuff. But, I mean, I think I found it important that you can never be too well-rounded. Anything, you know, you have to do, whether it's as simple as, you know, printing out a Microsoft Word document for a coach or filling in at the box office or,
putting up a dasher.
Yeah, we were out there and we were
dasher.
We were the ones who put up the advertisements all around the rink, and we had to do that. And
we didn't have to do it, but it needed to be done.
Right, it needed to be done, and the three of us just kind of, you know, went at it. And I
got good by about the 20th one. We got pretty good at it. I mean,
Less
put a couple on a
bubbles
little crooked, but you know,
commonly referred to as a rink operations job. But I mean, I think this building's in great hands with Glenn now being at the helm. But yeah, you can never be too well-rounded. That's one thing I'll be taking with me back to. I always want to say the Northeast, but then people are still telling me that Norfolk's in the South. What's going on here?
You know, they say Virginia's in the South. I mean, to me, it's the Northeast, but
hey, they still say North Carolina's in the South. So, I mean, technically, I guess.
Is North Carolina not in the South?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, it is, but
this is the South.
No, this is the Deep South for sure.
That's true. Well, that's true. If you go deep south, I would still say I see their point. I think Virginia would be the South because you typically think of Northeast as like the part of the United States that starts branching upwards.
Just tell people you're going to one of the OG 13. Start some sort of new phrase.
Okay, gotcha. But yeah, as I tell them that I'll be going back to the OG 13, you know, you can never be too well-rounded. So anything that Norfolk needs of me, I'll be, you know, willing to learn and willing to do whatever is best for the organization. I mean, when I came down here, I came with a relatively outdated MacBook Pro and a super old version of Final Cut, and thanks to a few good people now, I know what Photoshop is. I know how to use it. I know, you know, I've taken my video editing to a new level thanks to, again, Nick and Lee and everyone who has helped out over the course of the year. And
we're still the same old MacBook Pro.
Yep, somehow still kicking. I mean,
mine too. We're just trooping in.
That might be something that might not make the move with me, but we'll have to see. And you know, so anything Norfolk needs, I'm looking forward to filling in. And very, very excited for the next step of the journey, and we'll never forget where I started.
Awesome stuff.
I agree. Hey,
Well,
piece of advice. See the little My Passport things. Have them buy you like 6 of them.
Yep. Gonna have to probably today.
Just call Norfolk. Hey, we gotta change of plans here.
Yep.
You gotta buy a couple studio passports for us.
that's great.
Gotta get some hard drives. No,
Yep.
I'm just kidding. I'm sure you have a lot to do there. Well, Walt's rocking double
See you
duties
later.
with Norfolk and Brahmas, and I think it's fair we let him close it off.
All right. So one final time, thank you to everyone with the Brahmas organization, coaches, staff, parents, players, fans, everyone who reached out on social media. You made this an incredible year. You made it all so very worth it. Nick, you're going to do great even without me. The rest of the staff, it's going to be fine. The place will go on without me. I know I didn't play that major of a role. It was an awesome year. Thank you so much to everyone who let me be a part of it. And special thank you to you two guys for letting me be a part of the podcast for the year. That'll do it. Walt Ruff's Final Podcast. We are out.
Awesome.
Woo!
Out.
Boo.
I don't have my music queued up fast enough.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call. Anyway.
This has been Inside the Bullpen with the Lone Star Brahmas, brought to you by Acme Brick. Acme Brick, it's the best thing to have around your house.